Hey guys, welcome to Holts with TGS. This is the end of the day, so excuse me if I'm a little bit fried. And I really want to do a bit more time on each of these, but what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through a good selection of Pinfires and different developments and different opening systems of a time when guns were developing massively rapidly, and I got a little bit of a wild card in at the end there, even though it's got zero to do with the rest of them. Let's have a quick look at this. This is a Needlefire patent 20 bore. The front trigger is broken. If we pull these back, the Needlefire patent is this rotating front here. As you can see, you've got that beautiful basketry or basket weave engraving. You have really big acanthus, but it's this bird's eye maple stock that is very interesting. That and the fact that you have an absolutely stunning lock plate with the gold inlay. It's just a beautiful thing. As a slight development from that, we move over to this one here. This is a Wigan & Elliott. They have a Needlefire patent, but what they've managed to do is turn the lever upside down almost and hide it, so you've got a much sweeter line. This one is interesting because the quality of gun making is just so much better than that Prelad. If you look here at the heel plate, you notice you have that beautiful engraving around the side of a horn plate. Even to the back of the stock here, it is, without a doubt, just beautifully detailed. The checkering, the top tang, the engraving quality is unbelievable. But they were makers to the royal family and the Pharaoh of Egypt, which is quite nice. So, just to show you how this Needlefire patent works, and they're both the same, that lever comes to the side, and is a little bit like a Jones rotary, but very different in the same regard. So, very simple, very effective. Except with this one, just a little bit more thought's gone into the style and design. There's quite a possibility that this is actually converted from a different action, given the shape and design, those very high fences at the back there, but it doesn't really matter. Let's move on. This is a Harlows patent. It's a JT Harlow. This one is, again, slightly different. So you bring your hammers to half cock, and what you do is you've got a little pull lever underneath there, and it is just beautiful. That pulls down. And this was at a time when, as much as innovation was necessary, a lot of it is they just didn't want to buy the patents of each other because that would have cost money. So they came up with their own designs. And it is particularly beautiful. That little snap close on that action, it's an improvement over the Needlefire, potentially. So it's a matter of personal opinion. But a beautiful stock, nice bit of walnut, and a much more aggressive style of engraving. Less quality, certainly in the Wigan & Elliott, which is still, it just is the most beautiful gun on the table. This next one is a Jefferies patent of Norwich. So, it's one of my favourites just for looks. Ready? So we push the lever across, reveal that beautiful engraved hinge disc underneath. Absolutely beautiful. The way that slides across as it joins back, the engraving slides across the action, everything about this whole action, and we can all agree, is just beautifully engineered. Such a shame Pinfires are obsolete now, really. But at the same time, you can own one of these for not silly money, and they are all beautiful. Next, this is quite interesting because it's very similar to some other patents out there, but we haven't quite figured out what it is. In that you have this little double latch at the bottom here. So, you pull that, that comes down, the whole thing tilts down, and that comes, and the whole lot will pop off like that. Fantastic engineering, isn't it? This is extremely refined, but doesn't feel quite as strong as the others. However, is just beautifully engineered. You could play with all of these guns all day long. And actually, those beautiful sort of maple leaves across the action, it's a stunning looking gun. It wouldn't look out of place engraving wise on any modern gun whatsoever. Really like the re-hardened hammers. They're a lovely touch on the brush finish action. Rabbits on one side and a pointer on the other. It's just beautiful. A beautiful bit of wood. This is, I say that, I think they're all my favourite. I think that's kind of the problem. There's something about all of them that is just inherently delicious. Next stop. Well, here we have Charles Golden. Bring these hammers back, push the lever at the bottom, And now we're moving up in history because this is becoming much more familiar by comparison to a lot of the modern things that you'll see nowadays. Or will have seen, I say modern things you'll see nowadays, things you would have seen 50 or 60 years later. But things certainly that you'll see in a centre fire that you can still buy and feed ammunition to nowadays is a better way of looking at it. Look at those beautiful flash marks over strike holes and the beautiful Damascus. Beautiful, really genuinely beautiful. Apart from the fact that the angle and lines of that push lever leave quite a lot to be desired. But hindsight's a beautiful thing. And finally, and this has absolutely no bearing on anything else whatsoever, but I've got to show you this, and it kind of belongs with these because it belongs in the strange mechanisms that didn't make it, is this. There you go, how do you like that? This is what looks to be like a Needlefire, but I couldn't tell you much more about it than that. Because the caliber .75 of an inch and a 7.29 is a 12 is a little bit bigger than a 12 bore. You have your cocking indicators on the back here, and as you pull this round, the gun comes in line. As you continue to pull it round, just closes those breech faces up until that lever clicks up into home. Absolutely nothing to do with the others, just belongs in it because it's all part of our wonderful gun making history. This really is something quite special. They're all something quite special. Anyway, I endeavour to bring you some more in-depth information on all of these at some point, but for now, with the shortage of time that we got, I hope you've enjoyed a little voyage through some of the pinfire making history and some of these obscure and weird actions and how people took them differently, and more importantly, same as we see nowadays, what quality difference actually looks like when people put their minds to making something better. The end. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Thank you very much to Holts. This has been a brilliant opportunity to come and share some gun making history with you. Take care. Goodbye. And we'll see you next time.